Hi, I'm Chad with Move Forward Guitar. This lesson is from our course Beginner Course 2. Beginner Course 2 picks up right where Beginner Course 1 left off, and you're going to learn more chords, chord progressions, strumming patterns, how to play in time to a basic beat, and much more. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you a chord progression that changes chords quicker. First off, this course includes jam tracks as well as a corresponding premium e-guide. The e-guide includes all the detailed charts and diagrams for each lesson, step-by-step instructions to help you practice and retain the material in the video lessons, extra bonus tips and tricks, and much more. To accelerate your learning, be sure to grab the jam tracks and your copy of the premium e-guide by clicking the link on the screen or looking in the description below. So all the progressions I've shown you up to this point have had at least 4 down strums or one time through a whole strumming pattern. But in this lesson, we're going to break up the strumming pattern so you're going to have 2 chords within the time of one strumming pattern, or there's going to be 2 down strums per chord. And this is really important to learn because a lot of songs change chords quicker than what I've shown you before. A lot of songs have chords lasting one strumming pattern or more, but there's going to be spots in songs or songs that have chords changing a lot faster, so it's really important to be able to do that. And it's important to learn that early on. Not only will it help you for hearing how to do that and playing other songs, but it's also going to help you make your transitions a lot quicker, because before you had a whole strumming pattern to think about your chord and your transition, now you have half the time. So it's going to force you at getting quick with your transitions, which is really important. So we're just going to look at one chord progression. We're going to take the really common chord progression of G to D to E minor to C. But like I said, now we're going to change the chords twice as fast. So first, if we're just starting with down strums, instead of having 4 down strums per chord, we're going to have 2 down strums per chord. So it'd sound like this. And right there on that G is where you could start over or end. And that was example 1. If you look in your e-guide, I just went through example 1. So you can see when you're changing the chord twice as fast, that means you're going to play through that progression 2 times now instead of just 1 time. So that's pretty simple when you're just doing down strums. You just have 2 strums per chord. It's a little more tricky when you're actually throwing in a strumming pattern. So example 2, if you look, has basic strumming pattern 1. So still you just have 2 down strums on the first chord. Then on that next down strum is where it changes. So we're going from G to D on the first strumming pattern. So G again, 2 down strums, then to D on that next down strum. But of course, instead of just 2 down strums again, it's down, up, down. So it's a little more tricky than just doing 2 down strums each chord. Now you have to think about changing what's happening over that second chord. So I'll play it for you so you can hear it, and it'll be pretty easy to figure out once you've actually heard it. So here's example 2. So just really take your time on that to really be able to break that strumming pattern up in half and keep it smooth and consistent. That's going to take some practice to get down, but once you do, it's really going to set you ahead. Now we're on to example 3, and example 3 is a little trickier. So this is with basic strumming pattern 2 now. But the thing about basic strumming pattern 2 is that you've removed that 3rd down strum, and that 3rd down strum is right in the middle of that strumming pattern. So that means you're not actually changing chords right in the middle of the strumming pattern. You're changing a little bit after the middle. So that makes it a little trickier, although once you hear it and start practicing, I think you'll get it fairly quickly. But it would sound like this. So you can see, like in the first strumming pattern, when I go G, down, down, up, where there's no down strum right there, the one we've taken out for basic strumming pattern 2, is the middle of that strumming pattern, but since there's no down strum, we're waiting to change the chord until that next up strum. So right on that next up strum is where that chord changes. And you can see that in example 3 when you look in your e-guide. So that's a little trickier, like I said, than basic strumming pattern 1, since you've taken out the third down strum. But just take your time, and once you get it down, it'll feel really natural to you. And you can see how that creates a different sound because of that, but it's kind of a cool sound, so it's definitely worth getting down. So that was without any jam track. Now I'm going to play them to the basic beat jam track at 70 beats per minute so you can hear it in time. So that was the basic beat jam track at 70 beats per minute. Like I've been saying, just start at 50 beats per minute when you're doing this. But first, really get this down without playing to any jam track so that you can play it really smoothly. And once you have that down, then throw in the jam track. Don't try to rush it all at once and play it really sloppy and struggle with it. You're really going to struggle if you do that, and it's going to hurt you down the road. It's really important to be able to play it smoothly and consistently before you start trying to play it in time with that jam track. Be sure to look in your e-guide under this lesson where you'll find step-by-step instructions for how to practice and retain everything that we just went over. You'll also find instructions for when to move on to the next lesson. So thanks for watching and keep moving forward.